Hello Dungeon Master. In this video we create a bank. This is to go alongside our other maps we have made for our town or city. Whilst sometimes not much happens in town apart from shopping, this way you have the map just in case. You might have an encounter on it, or simply use it as a point of interest. But you never know when a loot goblin comes to town. Who's that? No one will ever know. We start off with giving the bank a lovely dark marble flooring with a fancy edging. We split the room into the front of the building where customers will stand, behind the counter where the tellers and bank clerks will work, and then 2 vaults are at the back. They will both be for storing gold and valuables, however, for slightly different reasons, but we'll come to that a little bit later. We place 3 locks on each of the vault doors. This requires, as you might have guessed, 3 different keys. A golden lock, a bronze lock, and a fey iron lock. This fey iron one could be magically resistant to prevent those who are magically inclined from being able to break in. You may have a 4th lock, which is a spoken phrase once the door opens. Speak, friend. But you can play around with this and add and amend as you see fit for your own players. We have 3 clerk counters, each with their own queue line. You could have people at the end of the queue line and only allowed to approach once the previous person has finished with the clerk, because we all know social distancing is good. Even without a virus, people not standing close to you is always lovely. The books on here could be ledgers and deeds, or simply where all the official paperwork is kept safe. The clerks on their desk might have to cross-reference their own ledgers with these ones. Talking about the clerks, well, Chris, Tom, and Mark all love their job here at the Burryton Bank. They have their own stations set out just the way they like it. Well, apart from Chris. I don't want to gossip, but if you take a look at his desk, look how wonky his ledger is. Such a mucky pup. Not like the 180 degrees like Tom and Mark. Classic Chris. They each have a number of assortments on and under their desk, from ledgers, weighing scales with weights, and piles of coins. We next focus on the bank's entrance foyer. This is where you could have the classic bank robbery begin. Are the robbers who have cased the joint and are now making their move to steal stuff from the vaults? Are the players in the wrong place at the right time? They might have seen someone acting suspiciously outside and have come in to investigate. Or they might have been already inside the bank looking to deposit or withdraw something on someone's behalf. These plant pots might give some good cover to hide behind. You know, just in case a fight breaks out. We have placed the fountains in this location to act as a noise suppressor for those who are speaking to the clerks. For people stood in the queue, it would be hard to overhear anything being said. It makes the conversation more private. It also gives the players and NPCs something to hide behind, if need be. The vault here would be used for long-term investments, where higher value items would be stored. It would be likely that house and shop deeds for the village or town would be kept here for safekeeping too. The other vault would be for shorter-term investments. Maybe nobles travelling through town for a few days, but don't want to keep their fortune on them all the time. Nobles would pay a small fee to keep their fortunes and valuables here. Think about it. Do your player party carry around all of their gold everywhere they go? Do they have high value items on them, such as weapons and magic items? Well, if a noble did that, they would be a walking sign for opportunistic people to take it off them. They would basically be mugged any time they left their house. Having access to the bank is a luxury. Without it, nobles would have to keep it in their houses. So, for a peasant, it might not be worth targeting. But anyone with any sums of money, both themselves and their homes would become the target. Most nobles are not fighting adventurers who know how to look after themselves. The bank is a safe place to store the money. They have locks and magic wards to guard the areas. Are all their staff members trained in combat? Classic, Chris. You may have your players hired to be extra guards. Is there an event happening in town where they need a bigger security presence? Have your players gained favour with those in town from their heroic deeds? Are they tasked with further help for a fee? The players could then try to work out who is there to case the joint and who is just a regular customer of the bank. Don't trust that old lady Joyce. I swear I've seen her somewhere before. You may want to have your players be the ones that need to break in and retrieve an item. Is there a quest that must have that one item to succeed? Has a villain got something of value that the players want? Have they taken someone captive? In return for their safe release, the players must break into the bank and get those gauntlets of the White Artificer. It just so happens we have another video about the White Artificer's gauntlets. Look at that shameless plug. I'll just put a link up in the top corner, just in case you want to take a look. Maybe it's not an item, but instead a ledger that doesn't seem important to anyone. Could it have details of the real villain? So hopefully this video has given you some inspiration. If it has, please do hit that like button so we know you like this content. And if you can do me a favour and leave a comment, it will really help the algorithm. We're trying to grow this channel, so appreciate all the support that you give us. If you're feeling fruity, you can also support us further on Patreon, where you gain access to all of our maps and find more about our life behind the green screen. So until next time, may the dice be ever in your favour.